Hey boos, in this video I give commentary based on my opinion. Nothing is to be taken as factual. We are just here to have conversation. We don't expose and we don't sip tea on this channel. I'm giving you real talk straight, no chaser. Let's see if you can handle it.
Cause I'm a boss. Oh, hell no.
I remember what I wanted to talk about. Okay, girl chat. Let me just put my phone right there. Girl chat. Hold on, is it gonna stay? Let me fix my dress so y'all not seeing. let me adjust myself. Oh, okay, so I wanted to talk about this. Jada Waiter. You guys saw Jada Waiter's post, right? And I know I have young women on here right now, so this is phenomenal. Virgins, teenagers, welcome. Okay, so one of the biggest mistakes that I made in my youth was not being honest with myself, like not being real about what I want. And in the beginning, it had a lot to do with the fact that I didn't know what I wanted and I didn't know how to go about finding out what I wanted. So that was like my first issue. And then my second issue was feeling guilty and shame for vocalizing or expressing what I wanted because I was being socially conditioned to want things that I didn't want. Hopefully I'm making sense. So it left me confused. It left me miserable, depressed. And then whenever I thought about vocalizing what I wanted, I felt guilt and shame because I felt like it wasn't something that I was supposed to want, but it was something that I wanted. And, you know, I noticed that when it comes to like this, I would say this third wave feminism, feminist, it's like we're afraid to admit what we want if it's in alignment with when it's in alignment with patriarchy. Like if it's in alignment with that, it's like we're afraid to say, oh, I want to get married one day, or I want a man in my life, I want to provide it. Like we're afraid to say those things. And if you have that, if you say at 18, 19 years old that's what you want, like that's where you see your life going, that's where you see yourself headed, don't ever be ashamed of that. Like, I know we live in a society where women like to shame other women for saying things like, I want a man in my life, I want a provider man in my life, or I want to get married. Like they try to shame you out of wanting those things, or saying, oh, I want a family and I want kids. Like they try to shame you out of saying you want those things because it involves a man. And it kind of leaves you confused because it's like, well, I do want that, but then I don't want to be bashed by my own social group. And I'm just here to tell you that the more real and honest you are with yourself earlier on in life, the better. Because it's crazy because I mentored a woman the other day, and I'm not sure how old she was. I have to look to see if she put in her date of birth information. But she was probably, she looked like she was in her 40s, like either her mid to late 40s. Beautiful woman. She was a doctor, and she was at the top of her game. I mean, this woman was doing it, okay? She was out here managing people. She was like head doctor. Like she wasn't even, I forgot what kind of doctor she was, but I think she worked in the ER, and she managed other doctors in her section of the hospital, which is the ER. And so I think, don't quote me on that, but it's very similar. She was in a leadership position. She was a doctor, and she managed other doctors. She managed other nurses. and she worked on the board, and she was a Black woman, and she was successful, and she made really good money. And you know what she did? She quit her job and she booked a session with me. And I thought that was insane. And her main thing was, and the reason why I'm sharing her story is because she wished she would have been real and honest with herself sooner. But she was afraid because she had family in her ear. She had friends in her ear. She had all of these people in her ear telling her what she needed to do, what was expected of her. But not once did she ever really sit down and truly decide what was best for her. So because of that, she found herself in a career that paid really well. I mean, the girl was dressed to the nine, okay? She was on FaceTime with me dressed to the nine. You could tell she's very into her look. She's like, she's a doctor, but she's a fashionista, you know? But she wasn't happy. She had a nice home. I'm sure she drove a nice car, but she wasn't happy. And she booked a session with me because she needed clarity on if she made the right decision quitting her job later in life. She also was opening up about how she struggled getting out of bed because she was depressed. She just wasn't happy with where she was in life. She thought that maybe it would be more fulfilling than it was, but she was left empty and she didn't have companionship, and it was something that she really, really wanted. So I'm saying all of this to say, like, be real with yourself. Jada Wada is being real with herself. Like, yeah, she's a baby mama, but at the end of the day, we all make our mistakes. And just because you make a mistake doesn't mean you can't take accountability, correct your wrongs, and move forward in a direction that is beneficial to you, that is fulfilling to you, that is happiness for you. Like, it doesn't mean that you can't take what happened and turn it around into something that is more fulfilling and positive in your life. So, when she booked with me, I'm mentoring her, but I'm learning while mentoring her. Like, wow, I'm so glad I started getting real about what I wanted, because I did not want to end up in her situation. And it's not that I say that like I'm looking down on her or anything like that. It's just I didn't want to make the same mistakes that other women made that walked before me because they were unhappy. Who wants to walk a path that leads to unhappiness when you're aware that it leads to unhappiness? So I just want you guys to be real with yourself. Be real with your expectations, your standards, what you want out of life. Be real with making sure that, with every decision that you make, you're truly benefiting from the decision, and not being afraid to say, "Oh, this is what I want. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to do." And that's the common denominator or issue when it comes to the women that I have mentored so far. Everyone seems to be afraid to choose what they want. And, it's crazy because I used to be them. Like, I used to be that girl. I used to be that woman that was afraid to choose what I wanted. And I'm not going to lie, you guys, like, I had to go against family. I had to go against everyone that was in my ear at one point, just because they didn't see my vision. They didn't see that this made me happy. They didn't see how this made me feel fulfilled. And at the time, I wasn't even making no money. Okay, like, I wasn't making no money for real. I'm making money now, but back then, girl, we wasn't making no money. But it made me happy. Like, I was able to express myself, and in my childhood I never had that space to be able to do that. So when it came to YouTube, when it came to hair and makeup, because at the time I was just a beauty girl, I was able to find an outlet where I could finally express myself. I never thought it would turn into like a job, a passive, like an income. I didn't even do it for the income. I'm not the girl that started YouTube for money. I started YouTube because I was in a depressing place, and YouTube was like my escape. Like YouTube was like this place I could go and creatively express myself and escape my depression, my reality. And that's how I started my YouTube channel. So when I tried to turn it into a job, which was, I would say I had been doing YouTube for about 3 years before I turned it into a job. That's when I started to try to turn it into a business. And then that's when family were like, oh, now you're tripping. Like, you're doing too much. I dropped out of school and never went back. And I'm not saying drop out of school, and I'm not saying that. I'm just sharing my story. I dropped out of school, and I couldn't afford it, and nobody was trying to support me. So I'm like, how can you tell me what to do and you not trying to support? You trying to give me some money? But now, you know, in my gut at the time, I knew I wasn't supposed to even be in school. First of all, I couldn't afford it. I was working 2 jobs. I was trying to go to school full time. Like, I was just doing too much. And I was trying to do YouTube. It was just a lot. So, now I'm in a position where I could go back to school. I can do it without going into debt. But if I would have listened to my parents and family, oh my God, I would be in debt at a dead-end job doing something that I don't want to do, all because it's what they wanted. And I'm glad I didn't listen to them. Like, that's when I stopped people pleasing. That's another thing. You can't people please. Because the more you people please, the more you lose yourself. The more you do for others than you do for yourself. And I'm not saying don't do for others, but it should never self-sabotage your own happiness. Like, it just should never do that. So now I can go to school, and now I'm in a place where I know what I want to go to school for. When they were trying to force me to go to school, I didn't even know what I wanted to go to school for. I was just gonna go, and I was just gonna be in debt. I had changed my major like. Okay, like when I first went to school, I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna be a nurse. And then I'm like, ooh, I don't like blood. I don't like blood. I don't like it. So then I'm like, ooh, I gotta get out of this one. So then I switched to psychology. No. I switched to accounting. And the only reason why I was doing accounting, because my mom's an accountant. So I'm like, well, let me just go to school for accounting. Did accounting. I don't like math. So then I switched to psychology. And then when I switched to psychology, I had to drop out because I couldn't afford it. I'm like, I can't afford this. But now I'm in a position where I can go to school. I'm actually living in an area that has a few campuses that I can choose from. And I think that's just crazy to me. But I always knew that even when family were just down my back about it, like making me feel bad about it, I knew deep down that God was telling me, like Spirit was telling me, it's just not your time right now. And no one else could understand but me. And it was something that I couldn't explain. So, yeah. I just wanted to share that with you guys because I don't want the younger women or the younger generation to just waste, like, be real with yourself, be honest with yourself. The sooner you are, the better. Be smart, plan, think things through, educate yourself, execute plans, come up with a strategy, execute, and you will not fail. Like, what is for you, your vision is your vision. And the more you listen to other people and what they want for you, it's taking you, is literally leading you astray from your purpose in life. And your purpose is your dream. Like, that's why you have them. And so many people don't understand that. They're like, oh, I have a dream, but I don't know why. And it's most likely, I'm not saying that all dreams are your purpose, but it could lead to your purpose. Like, YouTube was not my dream, but it's leading to my purpose, which is to help people, mentor people, give back. I want to get certified and I want to be a certified life coach. I want to go to school for that. So it's like now I have a passion to go to school for something. Whereas before I didn't have no passion. I was just in school just to be there, just because people felt like that's where I needed to be. And now it's like, oh, I can go get certified and become a life coach, work with people, learn more about people, different personalities, get a speech coach and learn how to conduct and public speaking. Like I have a reason, like I have a why now. So everyone's journey looks different. Some people wake up and they have it all figured out. They know exactly what they want. And some people's purpose is aligned with what their parents want. Maybe it's because their parents are more supportive and just open to it. You never know. But for me, my parents, they were not having it. And my parents, till this day, they do not understand how I did it. I don't even know how I did it. Ooh, I know how I did it. I listened to my gut and I listened to my heart. I wasn't listening to nobody else. I wasn't even listening to my common sense. Because if I was listening to my common sense, I still be working at the bank. I still be trying to work my way through school. And I knew school wasn't for me because every time I went to the financial aid office, they would lose important paperwork. Like, how you lose my transcript? Now, I called the lady. She confirmed and said the fax went through. So you saying now you can't find it? I missed the deadline, so I couldn't get in that semester. Like, it would be stuff like that. And I'd just be like, God, like, am I not supposed to be in school right now? Like, this is getting ridiculous. And when I started to listen to my heart and my intuition, things started to fall into place after that. So I just wanted to share that. Like, everyone's journey and path in life is different. Like, my parents are still going to get what they wanted, which was for me to go to school. I plan on going back to school. So, and I know what I want to go to school for, and it makes sense. Whereas before, it didn't make sense. It didn't make sense. It did not make sense. It did not make sense at all. Let me read some of these questions. She said, do you want your man in the future to provide for you everything, including the bills? I mean, when kids are in the picture, listen, that conversation only matters to me when kids are in the picture. If kids are not in the picture, I take care of myself. Like, I don't need help. But when kids are in the picture, I will need help. When kids are in the picture, I will need some assistance. I will need some downtime. I will need to be able to meditate, do yoga, spend time alone, like have my space to be able to do what I need to do for myself. So, when kids are in the picture, yeah, I need him to be able to take on the full load just so I can take care of myself and the big-headed kid that I had to push out of my vagina. That's it. And then once the kid becomes, I would say 3, then I can get back to work, but under 3, like, can I get myself together? Because y'all saw Kayla Nicole. Y'all saw her, right? She looks good. I don't care what nobody say. She looks phenomenal. But, there were so many disgusting comments. And I'm just like, can this girl heal? Okay, she's proud where she is right now with her post-op afterbirth. Because I got a big head, and I know oh my God, just thinking about it, I got a big head. So I know that baby gonna have a big head. So, I'm just saying, like, can a woman have her downtime so she can get herself back together? That's it. Like, are you allowing your woman space to be able to do that? If you are, then yeah, no one is saying, you have to, take all of that on forever. But it's just like, I don't know, y'all. I got a big head. I got a big head. Y'all tripping. Just because my forehead's small don't mean my head is not big. That is hilarious. Hold on. But I just need men to understand that. Like, I just need to know a man can hold me down while I'm going through it. Like, that's it. And the reason why I say that is because I already suffer from seasonal depression and stuff. So it's just like, I don't know how I'm going to mentally and emotionally react to that after birth or even during, or pregnancy. Like, I don't know how I'm going to react to that. So I need to make sure the man that I decide to procreate with can hold the fort down if I go under. That's it. That's it. That's all I'm asking. And then once I'm good, then I'll get back on my feet. It's not hard. I think it's simple. Right. Why I come in on you roasting yourself? That just means you're hella smart, though. Oh, if you have a big head? Oh, thank you. That is so sweet. Even with him paying the bills, downtime is non-existent. See, that's what listen, I told you I'm getting a nanny. I don't care if I got to pay for it with my own money. I'm getting me a nanny. Some guys think when a woman says she's abstinent, they think she's not serious. That too. That's why I don't engage with men that have that dusty logic. Facts. I told y'all, listen, black women, I need y'all to understand, okay? The reason why our mothers and grandmothers couldn't enjoy luxury service like a nanny, a maid, was because they either couldn't afford it or because they were the maids. They were the nannies. Okay, so they had to take care of their family and somebody else's family. Okay, they have sacrificed to where we as black women in this generation, we have the choice of getting assistance. And it's not a bad thing. Like, all these girls, listen, all these girls want to talk about these handbags, these designer handbags, these designer shoes. Listen, sis, okay, I don't give a damn about that. But I do want a nanny and I do want a maid. I do want someone to come through the house and clean professionally. Thank you. I don't care about no bag because that's luxury to me. A bag, I mean, I can look at it, it's cute or whatever, but I mean, like, what am I going to do with it when I got a baby crying? I'm going through postpartum depression. I'm feeling awkward with my body because I'm trying to get adjusted to it because it's new. And I got these shoes and these handbags. For what? If you don't give me a maid and a cleaning lady and a nanny so I can take me a nap. So I don't know. That's how I be thinking. I don't be, what am I? And then I'll be the type to take all them bags in that closet, donate it or sell it, get the money to where I can get it. Because I'm all up, like, listen, your health, your wellness, that's rich. That's luxury. That's designer, sis. I'm getting me a maid. Y'all can have them handbags, but I'm getting me a maid. We can rebuild our closet later. We can rebuild our closet. If it's that serious, we can rebuild that closet later. Okay? I'll be a Target mom for a while. It's not that big of a deal. I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna be the type of girl that makes smart investments. So maybe I'll have some passive income. I'm gonna come up with the money somehow, okay? But I'll be a Target mom. I sure will, with the Target handbags, Target shoes. I can't wear they jeans unless they're capris, Target hat. Girl, I'll be a Target mom, okay? See, and, oh my God. And this is another thing, too. The single mothers that are on here. That Joey, is her name Joey? Future in Bow Wow's baby mama.
Oh, gold digger. I feel like a lot of people say that, and I'm not a gold digger. If that's the case, I just date everybody that tries to talk to me with money. I don't. And I'm not a gold digger. I've worked since I was 15. Like, I take care of my kids. I don't get any child support. Repeat that. I don't get any child support. I don't really need to ask for certain things for my kids because I can do everything myself. If, their father wants to do things for them, and then they do that on their own time. If they want to, hey, here's the money for this or that, or, whatever. But I don't really ask for anything. I'm able to do everything on my own. So
I'm speaking strictly on her situation. I was not speaking on single mothers. Because like she said, I think it's Ernestine Fit. She said, I'm a single mother of 2, trying my hardest to make enough to hire help. I mentor single mothers too. And there are single mothers out here that don't have support at all. Not from family, not from friends, not from their baby's father, no one. Like they're literally doing it. They're literally doing it all on their own because they have no one. Like they don't have a choice. Joey sitting up there talking about if he wants, when those men are there and available and financially stable, and you're telling me you're giving them an option because you are afraid to be shamed for being a gold digger? And women wanted to get upset with me over that when I'm like, girl, that is oppression. Like, what? So now it's the woman's responsibility fully because she doesn't want to get shamed and to be calling a gold digger? How misogynistic is that? So yeah, I had an issue with that. But no, I wasn't referring to all single mothers because all single mothers don't have her, they don't have her kind of support. So she irritated me when she was saying that. And I'm just like, girl, like, if you don't get you some help. Now, Bow Wow, I have to say, Bow Wow seems pretty active. Bow Wow chipping in here and there makes sense because he do be with his daughter on a routinely basis. And it seems like on a weekly basis to where him chipping in makes sense. Because if she's staying at her dad's and then she's staying at her mom and she's splitting time between 2 houses, him pitching in for extracurricular activity, it makes sense. But Future, I never see that man with his kids. I never see that man with his kids. I'm like, must be nice. Him just walking around with no care in the world. Must be nice. And then we wonder why these men have no issue impregnating as many women as they can because we don't hold men accountable. Yes, not holding men accountable equals being an independent girl boss in 2021. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Can you tell the rest? Because I'm getting it. Future stay raising an influencer. No, you did, but you so right. You ain't right about that. He do. But Instagram is cutting me off. Ooh, it's 11:11, so I don't know if you want to make a wish, make a wish. But you guys enjoy. Well, it's 1:11, but I see it as 11:11. But whatever. You guys enjoy the rest of your night because Instagram is cutting me off now. So, bye guys.